hit a prop, got a rope wrapped around something, damaged the prop, damaged the shaft. I don't know the whole story there. The owner can't get a hold of the charter company. They've gone silent.
What are we coming here to do today?
We're going to finish the install on an air conditioning system. We have to pull a vacuum and get it serviced up and running. So this is a different manufacturer. And they have their setup a little bit different. Well, okay, so this is one of these deals. This is what they've done, the same thing with the Medic kit. This is a different manufacturer unit, because this is what was in here was the Medic, but the client is just not happy with the Medic. So we went with CTM. See, like on the Medic, you can hook up to this fitting right here and this fitting right here, and you can pull a vacuum without opening the service valves. They also have a high and a low fitting up top here where you can get into the pressure side. So what you would do is you would install this unit, and then you would take this cap off and hook up your gauge there and hook up the gauge here to this. You wouldn't open these service valves. These are the service valves. Let me see if this is tight. Right here. You wouldn't open that because there's a charge in there. So then what you do is you pull a vacuum here and there, and that pulls the vacuum on these line sets, which goes all the way to the evaporator. So on this unit, you can't do that. There's already pressure in this unit. You see the liquid going in through here. So you got to slowly burp that liquid in because you're going in on the low side. And there's no hookup for the high side, which kind of sucks, but that's the way it is, I guess.
We got it from a new place today.
Cuban Coffee Queen.
Yeah, how is it?
It's good. Strong.
Strong. Thought you'd like that. Only the best for you guys.
Number one, never sniff refrigerant. And of course, their scan me QR codes don't work. There's only one connection on this unit on the low side. So if you have no high side pressure, how do you handle that? What would you guys do? Let me know. So let's say this was condemned, but it was still running.
Yeah.
So instead of popping these lines off and blowing the whole charge,
Yeah.
what you can do is you can close off the discharge, the high pressure.
I got you.
So this valve, I turned it open this way, you would turn it this way, and you would turn the unit on, and it will suck most of the refrigerant into here.
Okay.
Now it may, at some point, trip the brake. Most of the gas will be caught in here, and then you can just pull it out, because these systems have so little refrigerant in them, you can't use a recovery valve.
Yeah.
Because there's not even enough refrigerant to get it started.
Okay.
So that's how we do that. So here's what we're gonna do. Take that, put this back on here. Everything looks good, right? Okay. All right, let's close this up, and we're going to move on to the next one. Daryl at HMY Yachts called 2021 Viking up in Isle Morada, and for some reason, when he's running the boat, the batteries are charging at 31 volts, which is way too much.
Are they cooking?
Oh, sure, at 31 volts, for sure. That's why I told Daryl, I said, you shouldn't be running that boat. Anyways, they want me to run all the way up to Isle Morada, do the electrical troubleshooting, which means that I have to check the alternators, check the voltage regulator, check the battery charger, and find out why it's charging at 31 volts. But in the meantime, the guy, I guess, is using his boat, which is not good because the batteries could catch on fire. We're breaking in, Conch Harbor. Nobody's answering the gate, so, well, she didn't go swimming.
Not yet.
Open up and see hopefully what's going on with that compressor. I have a feeling that the compressor inside has started to fail because, well, that might not necessarily be true, but it's still making refrigerant under pressure. So we're going to get this on, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out what's going on.
That's 2 times that I broke in the Conch Harbor today.
Yep, because nobody's answering, nobody's pushing the gate button down here.
Yeah, they're leaving us locked out.
Yep, leaving us locked out. So the set point on this is a step box cooler or drink cooler. That is normally set for 37. I have it turned down to 0. This one, let's see. I put this temp sensor in the box in a cup of hot water, so it's reading 87. That little dot right there below the snowflake means that it's calling for cool. And the set point on this is 1 degree. Both the refrigerant shut off and turn on valves upstairs are open, or at least the coil that sucks up the shuttle in the valve they're energized because they're hot. That doesn't necessarily mean that the shuttle's moving, because if there's debris in there, it can jam up that shuttle valve. Let me hop back here. Peter's opening up the valves, the service valves on the unit. I'll hop in there. We'll take a look at these pressures here in a second. Let me see what you got there, Peter.
I can't get this. There's not enough.
Would you have one open?
I have high pressure open, and I'm opening the lower now.
What is that? Let me see that thing.
184 and 189.
Oh, that is no bueno. So what we got, light on, you see the low side is
Yeah.
185 and the high side is 190.
Yeah.
So we pretty much call those pressures the same.
Yeah.
That means inside that compressor. So the way that works is there's a rotary piston plate,
Yeah.
and it pushes the liquid refrigerant, and it goes through, or it compresses the gas into a liquid state.
Mhm.
And then it goes through duckbill valves, also known as reed valves. They're two thin pieces of metal that are curved under pressure, and they open every time the piston comes up.
Okay.
Well, those get cracks in them, and then you can't build any pressure. That's why his refrigerant isn't leaking. So that's not a good sign.
Okay.
Just to recap, I just verified there's nothing we can do here. Peter hooked the gauges up. You see the low side, which is on the left, the same almost as the high side pressure, which is on the right. What that means is inside that compressor, we've lost a valve. So now the unit is running, but it's not able to make enough pressure to bring the boxes down. So there's really nothing we can do. That compressor needs to be replaced. I saw how big that unit is. It's a major job, and I don't think I can ask. They might want us to pull it out and either get a new one, which would be my recommendation, because I'm not a big fan on replacing compressors, because who knows what junk that thing is pumped into the system. I'm going to go talk to the captain right now, and Peter, you can start breaking your valves back down and closing that all up, and let's start backing up.
What's going on with you?
Well, it's another disaster.
The boat is a
The
disaster?
owner called us. We worked on it years ago. First off, let me say, and again, this is in my opinion, okay, don't get crazy on me. I think it's got a really poor design, because the way they built it is the keels, catamaran. We're going over there right now. The two keels are actually bolted on to the hull, and I will show you this when you get there. So what's happened in the past was they had a grounding or something happened. It's been years, so I don't really remember exactly. And they broke those keels loose, and when they flexed, you know, it's just held on by a couple big bolts, and they flexed and they cracked all the fairing compound at the seams. So from what I can remember, he did that, or somebody did that, and we hauled the boat out, and I think it was just one keel. I think it was the starboard side keel that we mainly had to fix. We ground out all the fairing compound. We made sure that the nuts on the studs were tight, filled it full of fairing compound and sealed it up and put new bottom paint on it. Now the charter company that had the boat, I don't know exactly what happened. They hit something, hit a prop, got a rope wrapped around something, damaged the prop, damaged the shaft. I don't know the whole story there. The owner can't get a hold of the charter company. They've gone silent. So he can't get exact answers. And since we fixed it last time anyways, we're going to look at it right now. He wants us to fix it again. There's also, from the grounding, there's glass damage. To be honest with you, I don't know if I'm going to be willing to fix this because of the liability. I have a feeling that the mounts for those keels, those removable keels, are probably damaged. 53 right there. This is a big old Leopard, and it sank all the way up to the hard top. Well, this guy, it got totaled from insurance. And this guy called, hey, I want you guys to fix it. So I said, okay. He said, I had to give him an estimate, right? So I went to the boat, and the thing is just a disaster. The whole inside all had to be gutted. It's going to be this much. And he's like, well, I'll just do it myself. Well, yeah, it's still not done, and it hasn't moved. And a while back, I heard rumor that the guy had ran out of money. My opinion is not the end all of everything, but you know, I would like to think that I'm pretty good at looking at things and being able to tell what's going on. So you can see here where they ran aground and they busted this up and they put some epoxy, underwater epoxy in there. This whole thing is wiggling. See this line right here? So this is all the fairing compound that we dug out and refilled. Now that got damaged.
And it's coming apart at the top too.
Yep. Same thing with this one. You can see they ran this one aground too, and the seam is broken open, although it's not so bad, but that's still bad enough because now everything in there is going to be full of salt water.
You can see where they've beached it and stuff a couple times. There's no paint on the bottom.
Supposedly they caught a rope or something all the fairing compound is busted out around that cuts any line that gets on there, but it's also missing the cone. And I heard they put a new prop on here, or a used prop or something to cover it up. And then they, get this, charter company never told the owner any of this. They also bent one of these rudders. This is another seam. Well, first off, in my opinion, these keels need to be dropped down, and they need to check to see if the bolts are damaged or the holes, the fiberglass.
But I don't think it's nearly as bad as what he said. I thought he said that this wasn't even usable anymore. What part of it is not usable? I mean, this thing is still floating.
Oh, it's moving. Not a lot, but I can see it moving.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's flexing probably.
Yeah, the gap up here too, and it's cracked all along here. So yeah,
But I was thinking like it was gonna have like a hole in it. I mean, these are holes, right?
we're here at the shop this morning with Peter. You're probably looking at this and going, "What the heck is that?" Here's the deal with this. So the boat that this is on is a foreign sailboat, and they have DIN rail circuit breakers. So that's DIN. And what that is a metal strip, and the circuit breakers click in. The circuit breakers that are in the boat have been discontinued. I did find a couple of the wrong amperage breakers over in the UK, but I couldn't really get them anytime soon. So this was Peter's solution. We got this. He got the box and got a couple AC breakers. And of course it's 220, but we couldn't get a 220 breaker. So what we did was, Peter did, he got two separate breakers, which is just line 1 and line 2. And he built this nice box, and he's going to go install it underneath the cushion where the other breaker is. Oh, by the way, that caused all this was bad for the air conditioning unit. So that's why we couldn't get the breaker. So Peter had to build this. It looks great. And Peter's going to go over and probably wake the people up because they are late sleepers. And
Give them some cold AC.
yep. So that's the plan. But nice job, Peter.
Thank you.
And go forth and do what you got to do.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
I was down here, I would treat myself to an iced tea. Yeah. So we're going to my buddy Dan's coffee shop. He also has tea.
Whoa.
Ready? Let's go this way.
Which way is the arrow pointing towards you?
Look at all the parrotfish eating off the piling, the outside piling. Looks like it'd be a pretty nice day to be out. A little breeze, but not too bad. Might be a little sporty out front, but out back it's nice. Pigeon, and there aren't very many of them, and they're really skittish. These obviously are not very skittish right now because they're fighting, and they get quite big. Like this is the closest we've ever been to one or two. Oh, going after them. Oh, there! Oh boy, they're going at it.
My coffee is pretty good.
Yeah, my iced tea is really good. So if you're in town, look up Keys Coffee Company. I said yesterday about our Mercury 150 that we have on the Boston Whaler that's for sale. Hopefully you're going to meet the guy over there either later today or tomorrow. He's very interested. Hopefully he is, and we can get that thing sold and get it off the Boston. I've been sitting in my shop for 9 months. So yeah, I'm ready to get rid of that. Giving you guys a quick update on what happened and what didn't happen. How about that? We had a goal set for my birthday, which is today, 56 years old, and we had hoped to have 50,000 subs by then. However, things didn't go as planned. A lot of you know from my videos that I hit my head, had a major concussion, and had brain fog. I pretty much sat on the couch right over there for 5 weeks and really couldn't function or hold a conversation or anything. Being very blessed that I have recovered and I feel very good. Brain clarity seems really good, although maybe my wife argues that point sometimes. Anyways, yeah, my neck is feeling better. It was a lot of whiplash in there, and I've been seeing some doctors and stuff and physical people to get that straightened out. That's feeling better. So I'm back out making service calls and running around on the docks. Hope to see you out there if you're here in Key West. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Blessings and well-wishing and the support and advice. You get amazing. So many of you reached out to us. Obvious that you are good people and you care. I just wanted to point that out and say thanks a lot. And I appreciate you tagging along with us on this crazy journey that we're on. Who knows where it's going to take us? We'll find out. Keep watching, I guess.
We're going to be coming to a city near you.
Hopefully. We'll see what happens. We don't know yet. Thanks. Bye.